Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back once again, friends. Today's story that we are going to explain is a very unique story of a schoolgirl. So, let's begin. We see a girl named Taki running because she is currently leading in a race competition. But suddenly, she falls, and her classmate, Yoshi, wakes her up. Yes, it was just a dream. However, Taki is a good runner. She has won many races in her school. After this, we see her working in a cafe copyright where she does a part-time job. Meanwhile, we see a customer who is mistakenly served a bad dish. The manager immediately comes and apologizes to him, speaking very politely because he is a very calm person. He has never scolded anyone for anything. At the same time, we see Yoshi, who also works at the cafe copyright. He prepares a dish for Taki because he likes her a lot. But Taki has no interest in him. He even asks for her social media account, but she ignores him and takes her food to the restroom. Just then, the manager arrives, and she offers him some food. As he eats, Taki starts staring at him strangely. The manager asks, "Why are you looking at me like that?" She gets startled and says, "Oh, I didn't do anything like that," and quickly leaves. Outside, we see Yoshi offering to drop Taki home after their shift, but she refuses. The manager, watching from his window, says, "This is common among kids these days as they develop attractions." The next day at school, one of Taki's friends brings another girl to her, who apologizes for not being able to break her record. Taki tells her, "No worries. Just keep working hard." In fact, everyone at school respects Taki a lot because she holds the record of running 100 meters in 10 seconds, which no one has been able to break yet. Back at the cafe copyright, a female colleague tells Taki that she likes Yoshi. Hearing this, Taki laughs. But then, the colleague asks her about the manager or what does she think of him. Taki's colleague calls the manager old, saying he is 45 years old, divorced, and smells bad. Just then, the manager walks in and overhears them. He quietly goes inside and changes his shirt. A little later, Taki arrives and checks his shirt to see if it really smells. The manager catches her doing this but laughs it off as a joke. At that moment, a staff member informs them that a customer has forgotten their phone. Taki quickly grabs it and rushes to return it to the customer. Everyone is amazed by her speed. But when she returns, her leg starts hurting badly. The manager immediately takes her to the doctor, where they find out she has a runner's injury. Years ago, Taki suffered a leg injury and was advised not to run for a few years. But despite that, she ran today, which worsened her condition. She now needs to rest for a few days. At home, Taki tries to sleep but keeps remembering the manager's words. She is confused about why she feels this way about him. The next morning, when she is out shopping, she sees the manager approaching. She asks him why he is there, and he says, "I came to apologize to your parents because your injury happened because of me." She tells him that her parents aren't home. They then sit at a cafe copyright and talk. Taki reveals that her parents are divorced, and she has been living alone since then, although they occasionally visit her. The manager also shares that he is divorced. As they talk, the manager looks at her feet and mistakes her nail polish for blood. Taki bursts out laughing. While drinking coffee, she casually says that she likes him. However, the manager assumes she means she respects him as a good boss. During this conversation, the manager experiences copyright avu. He feels as if this has happened before but can't remember when. Later, after school, Taki visits the sports ground. The other girls gather around her, wanting to shake hands and break her record. She meets them warmly and then heads home. It starts raining heavily, and she remembers the day she set the school record. Everyone was happy, including her. However, during practice a few days later, she injured her leg. The doctor then informed her that she had an internal injury and needed to quit running for a few years. This news devastated her since running was her dream. Now, as it rains heavily, she takes shelter in a cafe copyright to wait for it to stop. That's when she first met the manager, Goswami. That day, she was crying for some reason, and after observing the cafe copyright staff's behavior, she decided to work there. The DA tilde copyright AVU the manager experienced earlier was actually from this day. In the present, Taki stands outside the cafe tilde copyright in the rain, watching the manager. When he sees her soaking wet, he rushes outside and asks her to come in since her leg is still injured. But right then, Taki says, "I love you," and leaves before he can respond. The manager is left confused, wondering if what he heard was real or just a dream. He spends the entire night thinking about it, worrying that people might assume he took advantage of a staff member. The next morning, he still doesn't know how to respond to Taki. At the cafe tilde copyright, while working, he notices Taki sitting behind him, eating. Suddenly, she stands next to him, startling him. She confidently asks, "What I said last night was true. What do you think?" The manager decides to drop her home. While driving, he explains, "Look, I am much older than you. I am 45. And you are much younger. What will people think?" Taki doesn't care about any of that. The manager asks, "What do you even like about me?" She laughs and says, "Everything." She reaches home, but he still hasn't given her an answer. Later, while reading a book in the cafe tilde copyright, Yoshi takes it from her and notices a gift she made for the manager. Realizing what's going on, he blackmails her into going on a date with him, promising not to tell anyone about her feelings. She agrees. On their date, she wears regular clothes, disappointing Yoshi. They watch a movie, but Taki finds it boring. They then go to a cafe tilde copyright, where Yoshi asks, "What do you even like about that old manager? He's so old." This angers Taki, and she storms off. The next day, she goes to see the manager. They watch the same movie, but this time, with him. She enjoys it. They go to a cafe tilde copyright, where she asks him to attend the summer festival with her. He refuses, saying he promised his son he would go with him. Taki is disappointed. That night, both she and the manager think about each other, realizing they have become an important part of each other's lives. At the festival, Taki sees the manager with his son and rushes to talk to him. Her friend Haruka notices her blushing and realizes Taki has feelings for him. Haruka disapproves, saying older men only take advantage of young girls. This leads to a fight, and Haruka leaves crying. Later, the manager meets an old school friend, who is now a writer. They reminisce about their school days. Meanwhile, Taki is in a bad mood at the cafe tilde copyright. When Yoshi messes with her food, making it worse, her mood worsens. The manager notices and asks her what's wrong. She says she fought with her best friend. The manager advises her to focus on her work. As time passes, the manager falls sick and stops coming to work. Taki learns about it and begins worrying.